Hi, it's Brad from Backcountry Skiing Canada.com, and today we're here to talk about the Salomon Quest Max 120 BC boot or backcountry boot. This is not that boot. This is the Salomon Quest Max 120 boot that we reviewed last season. And this boot comes in at 2,478 grams per boot in a size 28. We put it on the scales to make sure. This is the Salomon Quest Max 120 BC or backcountry boot, and this boot comes in at 2,030 grams per boot, and that's again a size 28, and that saves about 450 grams per pair. What Salomon did was they got the custom shell 360 that's in the Max 120, they got rid of that and they went with an all P-back shell, so that saves a tremendous amount of weight. And they also took a lot of weight out of the liners. They're still moldable, but they saved about 150 grams out of the liners. We're going to talk about those a little later. Some of the features I wanted to go over quickly with you though is the twin frame technology. So this is the same in both boots, and what it means basically is that the upper shell, the black portion, is much more rigid in the upper and the lower is much softer. It's built on a 98 to 104 millimeter last, and it's still got the great 120 flex in them. It's also got an oversized pivot, so this 25 mil axis point here acts as the pivot, nice and strong for hill skiing and resort skiing and also out of bounds skiing. And it's also got wraparound sole, so on the bottom you can see here the sole plate extends all the way around both sides, so better grip on rocks, better grip for climbing, saves the shell from being nicked up by rocks and things like that. It's also got a replaceable toe and heel, so this model here doesn't have the tech fittings in it, but you can swap out the toe and the heel and put in new ones with tech fittings in them. It's also got 3 magnesium buckles, same as the 120 Max in them, and the mid-step buckle here, it's actually adjustable. So if you can see here, this point here, there's a couple of different placements you can put these on, so that kind of eliminates the pressure on the top of your foot, which is really nice. So it's good to have that adjustability. It's also got a hike and ride feature on the back, so you've got an easy walk mode, flip the switch, hike and ski, same as last year's. And talking about the liners, with the liners, the Quest Max 120 backcountry liner is quite a bit lighter than the regular model. As you can see on this liner compared to the other one, they look fairly similar, but there's a lot of little features that they've changed. So overall there's a lot of plastic in the regular Max 120 boot. On the upper it's very stiff, and even the bottom it's a little bit heavier. You can see with the new liner for the backcountry model, it's not got none of the plastic, just in the tongue itself, so it prevents that shin bang. Even the laces now, it's a lot smaller than the previous version. You can see the lace tab there is essentially gone on the new backcountry model. And also with this version, you're going to save about 133 grams overall. So the new backcountry model is 336 grams in weight, and this one is 469 grams. So just that savings, 130 grams in the liner itself, and then going over to the boot with the shell and all, you're saving about 450 grams. That was one of our complaints about the last version, the Quest Max 120, was it was heavy. So savings of almost 500 grams is definitely a step in the right direction. Solid boot, it's strong. It's a lot lighter than last year's version, and it's good for hard charging at the hill, at the resort, doing laps, or also slack country and backcountry laps as well. So that is the Salomon Quest Max 120 backcountry or BC boot, new for this year, 2014. To see the full review on this and much, much more, go to backcountryskiingcanada.com. Thanks.